Huge win for the Vols last night. We went into this week, Tim, thinking, we had Kentucky, Missouri, Georgia left that are teams that we could lose to, and we got a win on one of them.
Well, we discussed earlier in another video that this was a pivotal game that our season could hinge on.
Mm-hmm.
And we know it's been difficult on the road to picking up a W, but we was able to go into Lexington last night and come out one step closer to the type of year we want to have.
Yes, MILTON had a really good game. If he can continue playing at this level, I'll be thrilled. With the running game, Wright having 10.9 yards a carry, though I think he might have got a little banged up.
Yeah, I don't know that he played after halftime, to be honest about it. And but that's where a three-headed monster came in last night, particularly in the fourth quarter. You had Sampson playing like his namesake, Samson, almost.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a stud.
Yeah, he's a dang good back. I mean, I know there are no comparisons really, but when he's out there, I get that whole Alvin Kamara feel. He's just really good in the passing game and very quick and explosive. But
Yeah, we've got a great situation of last year's starter is really the third guy in our backfield this year, and it isn't because he's playing worse.
right, yeah, Sampson's looked great. Some other stuff, Tim, Davis only getting 2.6 yards a carry. That's that's outstanding for our defense.
He averaged 7 yards coming in, and it was obvious that was our defensive game plan to limit him, and he only had 70 yards combined. So, in the rushing game, a clear W for UT.
If you told me going into the game, Tim, that MILTON would complete 86% of these passes, Wright would average close to 11, Sampson would have the game he had, 114 yards combined, and Davis would only end up with 70 yards total, averaging 2.6 yards carry, I'd say we'd won by 40 points probably. I mean, I thought it'd been a blowout.
Well, we might have if we can fix our red zone issues.
Yeah, there's two things kept that game close. Red zone issues is one thing that's really bothering us. We're going to have to do better there. And I think that is a combination of our OC. I mean, you got to do a better job scheming stuff up. And I think there's a little bit of, especially from early in the year, a lack of confidence in our passing game to not throw a pick in that area.
Yeah,
So,
we've handcuffed ourselves, and now to the point, though, I think we're second guessing ourselves.
mm-hmm.
Last night, I noticed one drive, we're handing it to up the middle, picking up 7 yards of pop, going down there, and then we also be getting the red zone, and then we started trying getting cute.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, it was like late in the game there. It wasn't a red zone, but it was a critical area of, part of the game. We're trying to kill clock. We run like a quarterback power play, sweep out to the right side on the short side of the field, and we run out of bounds. I mean, you've got to, the OC's got to be smarter than that than to run a play like that to the short side when you got to stay out of,
in
out
the
of
play. Real quickly, if you enjoy talking UT football,
mm-hmm.
UT Sports and Gym, we'd really hope you'd like and subscribe to the video. It really helps our channel out. We enjoy talking some UT with anybody that listens.
Oh yeah. I think one of the other things that I thought was a big thing that kept this game close. Well, actually, two. One combination of two was Leary actually showing up to the point where he was at NC State. He looked fantastic last night. Part of that was him. I think there's some stuff they'd done in the off week, but another aspect of it was the officiating and the fact that Barron probably could press charges today. We couldn't get home on the pass rush, and Heupel kind of pointed out to some extent at the press conference too. He's getting aggravated with that as well.
He is. And listen, I'll tell you, during the course of the game last night, there was a lot of times we wasn't getting off blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Just pure and simple, it was on us, okay? But, I mean, it's, and you can call holding every play,
Mm-hmm.
but, yeah, there's sometimes you're going to have to call holding because it's egregious. It doesn't seem to be making that to the referees though.
Yeah, there's such thing as, bad officiating, which a lot of NCAA will say that this has been a horrible year as far as officiating goes.
Well, the NCAA won't say it.
Well, yeah, people
Yeah.
talking about the NCAA football in general, the whole, uh, all of the teams.
Yeah, it's been talked across the entire college football world how poorly each conference is officiating this year. But I think there's not been a game since maybe Virginia that we've gotten a even whistle.
Yeah, Virginia game I thought was a good called game, but 7 straight games that the officiating has been horrible. I've been following UT football since I was about 10 years old, somewhat religiously, and I've never seen nothing like this, Tim.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one game right after I'm thinking, okay, next game we're going to get the better end of the deals. We're going to get the fish, we're going to get the calls.
Well, I've heard some lives that it all works out, evens out. It don't matter what happens at this point of the year out, it's not going to even out. But, without harping too much on the officiating, because it's been bad. I'm sure Kentucky fans are upset over a couple of calls last night as well, as they should be. Probably, I know I thought a couple of holds that I would have said that it was out in the open, pretty egregious, no calls. But I thought we definitely got the worst end of the stick. But
How many live ball?
that was where I was going with, Bob. 2 straight games, we've played 2 of the absolute worst penalized teams in the entire nation.
Yeah.
And we have not gotten one single live ball penalty called on them. They've been pre-snap jumping off sides that you must call. But they've got a combined 26 yards of penalties in these games. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, there's a stage where it's just bad officiating, and then there's where it's criminal and
Well, then make it
on
that
purpose. It's on purpose. This is whatever's going on right now for whatever reason. It's on purpose.
When you've got two full games and there has been 0 live ball fouls, then that is when the officials are going into those games with intention not to throw nothing.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough of the refs. Everybody's going to be complaining about them, and rightfully so. Some other part guys I like to talk about it. I think we missed Haddon last night.
We did, but I do think the fact that we couldn't get
A rush.
a rush made us back off some. We're going back, kind of like you said before the video, we kind of reverted back to last year's style of defense where we
Rushed 5-6 and went into a bend but don't break.
Yeah. And I think, it might have been partly due with Haddon, but I think more of it had to do with the fact that we wouldn't get home on sacks with 4.
With 4, yeah. Another guy I'd like to say, finally saw Dante Thornton in a situation where we wasn't cussing because he dropped the ball.
Yeah, I think he had 3 catches last night.
3 catches.
One big one that I think he gained like 40-something yards on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That could be a good sign moving forward.
Now, he's going on the outside, wasn't in the slot, so maybe that's where we're going with this, headed forward. Maybe that hits his spot.
Well, quickly looking forward a little bit, we got Connecticut coming up next. Home game that should be maybe open enough that we can get a little playing time for Nico, hopefully, and rest a couple other people like Jalen Wright if he's banged up, maybe Campbell.
Yeah, Mincy maybe.
But let's, just don't screw the pooch on this one. Get that W in the things, and then we got 3 games in the year that's going to decide how our year is.
Yeah, that's where it's going to be at. Hopefully we can reach a 9-3 or 10-2 still out there. That would be an outstanding season considering where we feel like we are at this point. 10-2 would be just amazing.
Oh yeah,
and it's possible because, but I will say this though, it just depends on which Georgia team shows up. They when we do get to them, they look fantastic.
They played down to their competition in multiple games.
It does seem to be though.
Yeah.
They either look fantastic or they look like they could get beat by Vanderbilt. So I mean, it's hard to tell who shows up with that one, but I fully expect to get their A game.
Well, I do too, but if you told me before the year, real quickly, and I'll probably belabor this point, but I'll try not to. Going into the year, I thought to keep our forward momentum going, we had to avoid 7-5. Most likely, we've done that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought 8-4, we could go on the recruiting trail and tell people that, yeah, we took a little step back, but look where we were at. Our future's bright.
Right.
9-3, man, you can go in and really sell the future of this program.
Yeah.
And not just the future, but the now of this program.
Right.
And if anything else happens, if we were to go 10-2, that's like selling water to a thirsty man. You can't ask for more.
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely agree. And we 10-2 at this point in the year is still possible.
It is.
So, and 9-3 seems likely.
Well, we'll see. It's a road game.
It is a road game. And Missouri, I
Play
think it's a good matchup for them. I think they match up well against us. But we'll dive into that here in a week or two.
Yeah.
But look for our preview of UConn. We're going to talk about them and talk about some of the team stuff going on. We'll have that later in the week. What up? You got anything else to add, Tim?
Only go big orange.
Go Vols.